North. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Football Friday. Being brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. Hopefully that work week's in the rearview mirror. If so, cheers. Enjoy it. If not, we'll get you to the finish line here on this Friday. Our normal staples here on Fridays, we'll hit them all. Preston Guy, 15 minutes from right now, TigerBait.com, talking Tiger football. Get you ready for the NFL slate to come. My Saints-Panthers pick coming up at the end of the hour. We'll pick SEC games against the spread. Got some take it or leave it. And a final pick for LSU and Alabama. So lots to do. Let's crank it up.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Genesis of Baton Rouge.
LSU and Alabama. One of the biggest brand rivalries in the last 2 decades in college football. Unquestionably. No doubt about it. And this one feels different. You don't have Saban. LSU's got an interim head coach. Tigers have 3 losses, have lost 3 of 4. Nobody really paying much attention to this game. This game was the centerpiece of the Southeastern Conference for better than a decade. I'm not just making that up. College Game Day had standing reservations. The conference had one CBS game to flex to primetime every year. And almost every year, it was this one. Bama, the biggest force in the sport for the entire Saban run. Where'd their bye week fall? Right in front of LSU every year. This was the game. And it doesn't feel like that this time around. And as I've analyzed this game, kind of looked at it, I've got some thoughts. I do. I think there are a lot of LSU fans that are saying, you know what? We're probably going to get crushed. Who cares? Who's the next coach? I get it. Probably some LSU fans that are going, all right, we got Kelly out of the way, got Sloan out of the way. Those 2 guys part of the problem. Like this team's going to they could surprise some people. That's fine too. I find myself looking at this game from a matchup perspective. If you listen to this show, I've liked the matchups for LSU against Florida and South Carolina. Bad offenses that LSU can kind of overwhelm in Tiger Stadium. I like that. I did not like the matchup for LSU against Ole Miss. And I felt like LSU was up against it in that game. Even though at that point we felt really good about LSU, I didn't love the matchup. And I didn't have the guts to pick Ole Miss that Friday, but I did not like that matchup. As I look at this game, LSU-Bama, Saturday, this is not a bad matchup for LSU. It is not. When you consider what LSU has really struggled with, LSU has struggled with really good running quarterbacks. Marcel Reed sliced and diced them. They could not get Diego Pavia on the ground. Trinidad Chambliss was running around, improvising, picking up first downs, getting in the end zone. Ty Simpson's a good athlete, and he will escape the pocket, but he's not those guys. LSU has struggled to get any semblance of a ground game going. But Alabama doesn't stop the run all that well. And if you listen to the LSU camp this week, Frank Wilson, Braylon Moore, West Weeks, Mansour Delane, like you heard them talk about the renewed physicality. And so I can paint this roadmap for LSU on Saturday night. Let's look at Bama. let's look at some of their more impressive wins. I'm not going to go back to the Florida State game necessarily. Florida State was at home in that game. Florida State had a new quarterback under a new coordinator. And Bama didn't play very well. And LSU can't replicate what Florida State did because Castellanos can run around a good bit. And LSU just doesn't really have that. But let's look at Georgia. Let's look at the Alabama win at Georgia. That's their most impressive win of the year. Well, how'd Bama win that game? Well, they dominated time of possession. They won it by 10 minutes, really 11 minutes, 35-24. Bama ran 77 plays to Georgia's 53. That is a 24-play advantage. On third down, Bama was 13 of 19. Georgia was 2 of 8. Like, Bama just dominated the clock. They just ran more plays. It wasn't like Alabama stuffed Georgia. No, far from it. Georgia ran for 227 yards on 7 yards per carry in that game. But they didn't run any plays. Bama controlled the clock. Bama did the same thing to Missouri. Choked the life out of Missouri in Columbia. They won time of possession 38.5 to 21.5. 17-minute advantage in time of possession. Bama won plays 75-56 in that game. Bama won third down 6 out of 15 on their offense. Missouri's offense was 1 out of 10. But Missouri, even though they ran 19 less plays and had the ball 17 less minutes, they outrushed Alabama 163-125. So those two games, Bama just won time of possession by completing third down plays, by being ahead of the sticks, and just being a snowplow constantly moving forward. You look at the other two impressive wins for Alabama. That's against Tennessee and Vanderbilt, both inside Bryant-Denny. And you look at how they beat Tennessee. Well, Tennessee outgained Alabama in that game, 268-253. Bama had 253 yards and won by 17. That game flipped on its head right before the half when Tennessee is going down to cut that lead to 3, and they throw a 100-yard pick six. Now it's 17, and everything's out of whack. And that's the play that spun it. You look at the Vanderbilt game. Vandy ran the ball, and Bama hit a 63-yard touchdown out the gate. They turned the ball over twice in the red zone. Diego Pavia did. So Bama's finding different ways to win. Credit them. But if you look at those 4 games, their most impressive wins. And keep in mind, like, Bama just got by South Carolina. They just got by Missouri. It's not like they're blowing the doors off people. So Florida State took it to them. This is not one of those Saban death machines. They're good. They're playing good. I think they can win the national championship. But the roadmap here for LSU is to change everything that LSU has done offensively. And that I have no confidence in with the same cast of characters in the building. But when you take some of the cast of characters out of the building and then rearrange that cast, which LSU has, I have no doubt LSU is going to do things differently on Saturday. And I also saw LSU in the game against Texas A&M in the first half run the ball for 7 yards a carry on a good defense. I saw Harlan Berry in the second half against Ole Miss run the football. I told you the Friday entering LSU Ole Miss. Ole Miss has the worst run defense in the conference. LSU will not run the ball because they haven't run the ball for 3 years. I'm telling you this Friday entering this game, LSU might be able to run the ball on Saturday. They're sure as hell going to try. And if they can, and if they do, they can tilt that time of possession away from Bama's favor. They can take that big advantage of plays run away from Alabama, which Bama crushed Georgia in and crushed Missouri in. Play them straight up. And if you can run the ball, bleed that clock a little bit, then it gets to the key I gave you yesterday, which is the red zone. But you got to get there first. What's Bama's strength? I told you, staying ahead of the change, but it's throwing the ball. It's not running it. It's throwing the ball. LSU's got one of the best corners in the country. P.J. Woodland is doing a good job in coverage. A.J. Halsey's playing good football. Deshaun Spears has a great coverage grade. Bama's really good out there, really good out wide. But I think LSU can keep up. It's not like teams have diced LSU through the air. Clemson threw for 230. Florida threw 5 picks. Vandy threw for $160. Texas A&M last week only threw for 202. They got 2 of the best wide receivers in the country. I think LSU can hold up out there. I don't expect Ty Simpson to throw for 353 and 4 touchdowns on Saturday night. There's a reason Bama is a 10-point favorite in this game, 9.5-point favorite in this game, depending on where you shop. They're better than LSU. The quarterback's playing better. They're at home. They're finding ways to win. LSU's getting bullied. But I sense that LSU's going to come out and look different on Saturday. And I think that with a new play caller, 2 weeks to put some new things in, and an Alabama defense that, quite frankly, is not good against the run. They are 15th out of 16 teams in run defense. I do think LSU can run it a little bit. If you take a page out of Vandy's book and you slow down and you bleed clock and you sustain drives, then you can take that big advantage that Bama had on Georgia and on Missouri and maybe get into a dogfight. Vandy got into a dogfight. South Carolina got into a dogfight. It can be done. And it's not as if LSU is devoid of any players. They've got some guys that can stand up at the point of attack as Alabama runs the ball. They've got some guys that can run with Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard. I think this is a decent matchup for LSU. My pick's coming at the end of the show. This might be a little bit of a misleading segment, but I think that this game is one that I can find a quality roadmap. I sat in this chair 2 weeks ago telling you I thought that Saturday night between LSU and A&M might be really, really ugly. And it got there quick in the second half. I've had a pretty good read on this team. I thought they'd go to Clemson and win. I thought they'd handle Florida. I thought they'd handle South Carolina. I didn't love the matchup against Ole Miss. I thought they'd beat Vanderbilt, and I missed on that one. It's a 7-point game I missed. And I thought last week, A&M, I thought things could get really sideways, and they did. I think that LSU's got a roadmap on Saturday. Whether or not they can execute it, we'll see. You get a turnover or two, you can't score in the red zone, it can get out of hand. Bama's better than LSU. I think this game gets into the fourth quarter on Saturday. I do. We'll see. That's our opening drive, brought to you by Genesis of Baton Rouge. Our Football Fridays are brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. A lot of times for these big LSU-Bama games, when LSU's on the road in T-Town, you like to have a lot of folks over for a nighttime kickoff. If that's the case and you don't want to get everything dirty in the kitchen or spend all day cooking, Corks can help you out. They're happy to feed in bulk. Just get a couple of trays, big old tray of fried catfish, big old tray of fried shrimp, big old tray of those crispy shoestring fries, maybe some rolls, maybe some beignet bites, and just take a load off. Watch some football and enjoy that delicious food. They're happy to help you. They love to cater. Can help you out, obviously, tailgate parties, feeding the office, Christmas parties are coming up. They can do all of that. If you got lunches, if you got a game day watch party tomorrow, or you're looking forward to some high school football playoffs coming up in the coming weeks and you want to feed a lot of people, Corks can always help you out. They're on Government between Foster and Jefferson. The entire menu's online at corksfishandshrimp.com. We'll come back with Preston Guy next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Family-owned and community-driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability.
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Saints and Panthers pick coming up in 30 minutes. I know you all waited with bated breath for that one. We'll get to it here coming up at the end of hour number one. Time now to head to the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com is with us. Preston, how we doing?
Fine. How's your week been going?
I guess better than last week, if we're just being honest. How about you? How's your week going?
Chaotic. Thanks for asking.
LSU and Bama. I guess the question I want to ask is, do you expect tomorrow to look different offensively?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to implement more of a power running game. They're going to probably do a couple wrinkles with Michael Van Buren, particularly in short yardage situations. Probably do some things different because, ultimately we are talking about a coaching staff that is, going to be coaching for their careers, and a big agenda item is going to be, we can motivate these kids and we can put some wrinkles in place and really spice things up. So they're looking to, not only win the game, but win it by doing it in a different, their way, particularly Frank and Alex Adkins, who are stepping in different roles, right? So I do expect to see things different. I don't know if it's going to necessarily work better or worse, but I do expect there to be a heightened sense of energy, as we often do see when an interim takes over.
Does the first half on the ground against A&M give you a little bit of confidence against a lesser Alabama run defense?
Yes and no. If you also look at that first half, it was heavily carried by, timely turnovers and a blocked punt,
I'm more so talking about the running game with Barry.
I know, I get it, but then you benched him in the whole second half.
Yes.
It's not like the guy who was in charge of that running back rotation isn't still around. Now he's in an elevated role. So, yes and no. I certainly like what you're getting out of Harlem Berry. I haven't loved the running back rotation. I do like how he seems to be better at making something out of nothing than the other backs tend to be, which that's good because you're going to need to do that with this offensive line. Yes, there's some things. What gives me more hope than that first half is the fact that there are going to be some things different that hasn't been put on film yet.
Do you think there's any hope for the passing game to click at a level anywhere close to what it did last year, or is that ship sailed?
I still believe there is. I think they still have, more receiving talent than they did a year ago. It's just the pass blocking has been abysmal. I mean, You can't give up 7 sacks against Texas A&M. I mean, you can't do that. So hopefully they tighten that up. I know Bama still has a good pass rush. Might not be as good as A&M's, but it's certainly something to be respected. And frankly, with this offensive line feared, I think they have actually more of the pieces in place to establish a good passing attack than a good running attack.
This defense against good offenses has not played very well. How do you compartmentalize that?
Well, a big part of that is injury corresponding with that as well. They gave up 42 points against A&M, but they've been pretty banged up. And weeks going from questionable to doubtful, back and forth this week, that's not encouraging. I think what weeks in the games he's missed, I don't think they've won a game, if I remember right. So, having him out, let's put it like this, having him back would be massive for your hopes on that, because clearly this front seven doesn't have the depth that we thought we saw. Relaford won't be back, but maybe some of these other guys can come back and be fully healthy, and I expect them to play better. That being said, Ty Simpson and company, they don't have the best running attack at Alabama, but Ty Simpson is leading a dynamic passing attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is a finesse Alabama offense at this point. I mean, I don't think there's any question with that. They're just really good at it, and Ty Simpson's playing at a Heisman level. How do you feel about LSU's coverage ability against Williams, Bernard, Cuevas, that whole crew?
Yeah, I look, given how banged up the front seven is, man, I would argue that does play into LSU's strength a bit better. I mean, Mansour Delane has been elite this year. He's been so good, you just don't even hear his name anymore. And you just look up, oh, hey, look, he's the highest-rated corner in the country, according to Pro Football Focus, on his, 4 targets he's gotten in the last, 8 games or whatever. It's pretty remarkable, the job that he's done. The safeties continue to make big plays. Paul C back there doing their thing. I would say, given how banged up LSU, that is the good news. It plays into their strength, and we'll have to see how, best on best, how it works out.
Do you think LSU is going to get this into the fourth quarter as a competitive game?
The score might be close. I am expecting Alabama to be in comfortably control in this game. I think that it might be one of those things, maybe they're up 2 scores and LSU saves the score off. I think Alabama will be in control of the football game. I'm not predicting. Let's put it like this. If Alabama is not in control of the football game, I'll be very impressed with the job Frank Wilson has done, getting them together.
Do you see a path for Frank Wilson getting this permanent job?
Sure, 4-0. Make the playoffs. The final seed. Sure. Oh, yeah, it's there. I don't know if anything short of that gets them the job, but 4-0, and we'll have you force people to talk about it at 4-0.
And I want to get your thoughts on this. I mean, it's kind of unavoidable at this point. We're going to watch the game on Saturday, and everybody hopes they win. And if they don't, I don't think anybody's going to go nuts. It's a season that's slipped down the tubes. But as far as the recruiting class goes, and the fact that you haven't seen mass defections to this point, how do you feel about that? I know y'all cover it closely over there.
Yeah, I don't want to pee on someone's grave here, but the fact that your head football coach gets fired and you don't see, at least not yet, there might be something right before the game that we learned, but you haven't seen a single player opt out. You hadn't had a single decommitment. In fact, you've added a commitment. It speaks volumes to 2 things. Number one, the guy in charge really must have not meant that much to the guys committed. Number 2, Frank, and Austin Thomas and the NIL guys, they're doing a really good job to retain it. You know, they still sit there, I believe it's 17 commitments last I checked. They will lose some players.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. There's going to be some decommitments. I don't think a head coach has ever been fired from a school and they had 0 decommitment. It would be remarkable. You know, it's just damage control. Keeping, you know, you got to instill confidence in these kids that, you know, what you know, in the face of adversity. I think it also does speak to the kind of kids that they're recruiting, you know, that these are kids that really love LSU. And I think, frankly, Verge needs to be beating on his chest to the new coach about this. Look, these kids love LSU so much we fired our coach and they stuck around. That's a big selling point for LSU. There's a couple kids from California, like Haven Finney, a kid from California, the cornerback. That's one I've got my eyes on. Like, okay, how much does this kid truly love LSU versus he was just convinced it was a good fit, good system, and all that jazz. We'll just have to see. We'll see what happens. And what really concerns me on that front, Hunt, my hot take with this coaching search, it's probably most unpopular opinion. It's okay to disagree with me. Don't hire a coach for the right timing. Don't hire a coach for the early signing day. If your coach is in the playoffs, NFL or college, lock in and get the right man and take it on the frickin' chin for one portal and signing period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the future of the program is more important than one team. And if you do wait through the middle of January, like, you will miss out on everything, and your team will be severely compromised in 2026. But that's just it's the nature of making a program overhaul. We'll just have to see how it happens. So what's your confidence level in the coaching search? I don't need any names or anything, but how do you feel LSU sits right now? And it's been a tumultuous 10 days.
I have likened LSU to the hot girl looking for a prom date with a big, ugly pimple on her face, right? If you can start cleansing and doing you might end up with a really good prom date. However, LSU seems to continue to shoot itself in the foot. I know stability is something coaches desire and seek out, and it seems like LSU's given the opposite of that. That being said, Verge and company, they're trying their best to recover from the chaos and instability that Ralph and the governor have created with foolish comments. And I think it's still the hot girl, right? LSU is still the number one job on the market. And, you know, I think that they do have a chance at landing a good coach. I'm one of the few who actually likes the hiring pool this year. I think I could probably name 10 names where I'm like, you can convince me why that guy's capable of winning a championship here for sure. You know, we will see, but I will say this. It's way uglier. Your odds are looking way worse than you did the day after Brian Kelly was fired.
We shall see. Tigers and Tide tomorrow just after 6:40 p.m. You can read about it at tigerbait.com. Preston, we appreciate it.
All right, Hunt. See you soon.
Preston Guy, tigerbait.com with us on Fridays. Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. You just signed up for the broadcast schedule tomorrow under our guarantee roof here. Kickoff, if you look at the scoreboard, it's going to tell you 6:30 kickoff. They're actually bumping kickoff back to like 6:43. So we're going to run off that schedule. So we'll start Eagle 98.1 Game Day's pregame show from Rouse's Burbank and Lee at 1:45 tomorrow, 1:45. They'll go for 3 hours. They will hand it off to me on the LSU Sports Radio Network, myself and Marlon Favorite. At 4:45, we will get you ready for kickoff in Tuscaloosa. 30 minutes after the game goes final, myself and Marlon back on the Fighting Tiger postgame report. We'll be on for about an hour, and then 90 minutes after the game goes final, you'll hear Charles Hanniger from Richard Dixon from here in the Raising Cane's studio. They'll be taking your phone calls and reacting for a couple of hours. So from 1:45 tomorrow on Eagle 98.1 to about probably 2 o'clock in the morning, we are live and local right here on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge, and, of course, Eagle 98.1, the flagship for LSU football. Again, Friday show is brought to you by Corks. We'll come back, get you ready for Sunday in the National Football League next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that is on the lot is online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com. We live in a delivery society. You want food? Get it delivered. Want toiletries? Get them delivered. Want groceries? Get them delivered. Like, that's how we function now. And at this point, you want a car? Get it delivered. Genesis of Baton Rouge is happy to do that. You can start your shopping process online at GenesisofBatonRouge.com and see every car they've got. They're all right there. Photographs, pricing information, details, all the features. They're right there at your fingertips. If you look at something and say, that looks good, I'd like to test drive it. They'll still deliver it to you. One of their brand ambassadors will drive out to work, right to the house. You can get behind the wheel if you test drive it, say, I kind of like this. Let's do it. You won't regret it, and they'll deliver the car to you. Beautiful. E-contracts, delivery, you never have to set foot on the lot. If you do, it's Airline at Piku. That's awesome. If you're in the market for a new vehicle and you're out on airline driving around the different dealerships, make a stop off at Genesis Baton Rouge. If you just want to do the delivery thing, because that's the day and age we're in, GenesisOfBatonRouge.com is where you can start. Again, they're on Airline at Piku. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge online at GenesisOfBatonRouge.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday injury report is out for Saints and Panthers. Taliesin Fuaga out for New Orleans on Sunday. So the Saints will have quite a patchwork on that offensive line. You've traded away your left guard. Your center is out. And now your right tackle is out. So a lot of moving pieces on that Saints offensive line. I'll get you a pick for Saints and Panthers coming up in our next segment. We've got to pick SEC games against the spread coming up at 2 o'clock. Still more to talk about with LSU and Alabama. My final pick for LSU and Bama coming up in about an hour and 22 minutes or thereabouts. For right now, let's get it started. Look at our tier list for the National Football League. Tier 4, worst football of Sunday. Still football, but it is the worst. The Bills are at the Dolphins. The Bills are very good. The Dolphins are very bad. Tua leads the NFL, 11 interceptions. He throws another one. That'll be 12. That'll be the most by a Dolphins quarterback through this point of the season since Chad Henne in 2010. Not good company to keep. And then the other Tier 4 game, Browns and Jets. Let's be honest, if we're looking at a poster child game for Tier 4, would it not be Browns-Jets? I believe it would be Browns-Jets. Look, Kevin Stefanski said, I'm not calling plays anymore. Tommy Rees, you can handle that. We're not any good. The Browns average 15 points per game. The Jets, a lot of futility for the Jets. They just had a fire sale. Part of the futility, the only team in the NFL that doesn't have an interception. Just like through 2 months of football, couldn't get one tipped, couldn't get one that bounced your way, couldn't make a play on the ball. No interceptions for the Jets at this point. That's Tier 4, the worst football for Sunday. Tier 3, marginally better. Falcons are at the Colts. They're not at the Colts. They're in Berlin against the Colts. Atlanta is 26th in the NFL in expected points added versus the run on defense. That's a fancy stat. It just means they don't stop the run very well. You know who runs it very well? Jonathan Taylor. I don't think that's going to go very well in Berlin for the Atlanta Falcons. Giants are at the Bears. The Giants also can't stop the run. They're the worst in the NFL, allowing 5.5 yards per carry. The Bears are second in the NFL in rushing. You know who wasn't second in the NFL in rushing last year? The Bears. Coaching matters a lot. Ben Johnson, very good coach. Bears playing better football. They host the Giants on Sunday. The Cardinals are at Seattle. Division matchup here. Trey McBride has 273 catches in his first 4 seasons at tight end. That is second all-time to Jimmy Graham of the New Orleans Saints. Trey McBride's had a heck of a start to his career there in Arizona. The Lions are at the Commanders. Washington is not good. Really not good. Their defense is terrible. Jaden Daniels is out, although they did get good news on him today. And it's a revenge spot for the Lions, who's had their season ended last year in the divisional round by Washington. This Washington team has lost 3 straight games by 20-plus points. The Lions are second in the NFL in scoring. This could get really out of hand in the nation's capital. All right, now the better football for the weekend. Tier 2, Ravens at the Vikings. Lamar Jackson's NFC record is crazy. He is 24-3 against the NFC as a starter. Also, he's 32-16-2 against the number on the road. Remarkable win percentage there in terms of covering. Might want to lay a shekel or two on the Ravens in Minneapolis. Jaguars at Texans, AFC South matchup. C.J. Stroud's got a concussion. He will not play. Davis Mills will play. Not a great go for Davis Mills as a starter there in Houston. 5-19-1 as a starter there. Spot for the Jags. He'll get a road win in the division. And the Steelers are at the Chargers. How about this for Mike Tomlin? They're not competing for Super Bowls anymore in Pittsburgh. He's still a really good coach. This is evidence of that. Tomlin is 63-36-3 against the spread as an underdog. He covers twice as often as he does not as an underdog. That's crazy. The Chargers down both tackles and 3 running backs at this point. Trevor Penning to the rescue? I kind of doubt that. All right, Tier 1, best football of Sunday. Got a couple of games in this slot. The Patriots are at the Bucs, 2 really good teams. Pats have not allowed a running back to get to 50 yards this year on the ground. They're the only team to do that through 9 games since 1950. Mike Vrabel's got his defense playing very, very well against the run. And the Rams are at the 49ers out west. These two went to overtime in Week 5. McVay and Shanahan, an incredible series in that division. They've had 8 games already decided by 3 points or fewer. Those two guys can really coach in the same division. Christian McCaffrey has 100-plus scrimmage yards in 8 of 9 games this year. No one else has 7. So second place is 6. He's done it in 8. Christian McCaffrey still really producing there in San Francisco. That is your look around the National Football League for Sunday. Jordan, Rams 49ers, those two coaches are awesome. That's going to be an awesome game coming up on Sunday afternoon.
Always is. When Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan meet, it's like you're seeing 2 offensive minds clash, and you know it's going to be a hard-nosed game every time. Somebody's going to leave the field in a stretcher. I hate to say it.
You take naps during Saints games when they're not very good. That's what you've told us.
Whoa.
How about
3 o'clock slot, 3 o'clock.
How about Browns-Jets? Can I interest you in a nap for that game? Not that it'll be on.
Well, is it 12?
Yeah.
Oh, no, see, look, that's one of those games that Red Zone just misses. Like, they'll flash it in, so that's one of those games. But
you're a Red Zone guy?
Okay, so this the setup. I'm a red zone guy. If the Saints are not on, I'm fully red zone on TV. If the Saints are on, I have Saints on the TV and I have red zone on the laptop.
Okay.
But I'm definitely a red zone guy. But I'm not I can only watch red zone guy. But no, it's definitely it's a nice treat.
The fantasy folks love some red zone.
That's why I love me some red. You
gotta get in.
See, that's why you had the Saints on the big screen, but for the fantasy team, on that red zone.
You know what I like for fantasy? This is the satisfaction I get from fantasy football. I like to have the notifications on for my touchdowns. So when I get the notification come on, I'm like, oh, there's a TD. Nice job.
My nerves too bad because then is it like if I'm not watching the games and it's like 12:30 and I have no notifications yet,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, I don't like those at all. I hate
Trey
that.
McBride looking to top Jimmy Graham. Did you realize he led NFL tight ends in history in the first 4 seasons?
I did not know that, but I did know Trey McBride was a monster, and he's going to be even better. Like Kyler Murray's out the picture, so
Trey McBride beat me in fantasy last week. I had a 7-point lead going into Monday Night Football, and he got me with a touchdown. Hated to see it.
Oh,
but it happens.
See, those are the bad beats, man.
Those are the bad beats. And you got Steelers-Chargers on Sunday Night Football there, which sounds good in theory, but I don't think the Steelers are all that good. So we'll see. That's a look at the National Football League on Sunday. All right, speaking of the National Football League, Saints are traveling to Charlotte, take on the Carolina Panthers. I gave you a little brief injury update there in the top of the segment. We'll get into a full discussion of Saints and Carolina, including my pick when we come back on this Friday edition of Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com is the website. Jonathan Carver and his team, just awesome folks to work with in the insurance game. You know, saving money on insurance is not always just about shopping to the next carrier. There are also things you can do creatively to help out with that premium. And we know that premiums in the insurance market right now, especially in property and auto, are through the roof. That's why you need to trust an independent broker like the Highland Insurance Group that is not just here to knock on your door and say, hey, maybe we can save you 8%. Let's look. Like, they'd love to save you 8%, but it may be their expertise in the building in terms of manipulating coverages and offering creative solutions that can help your bottom line. And that's not something that every broker knows or has access to. There are some insurance brokers that only have access to one market, and they can sell you that, and that's it. That's not the Highland Insurance Group. They have an expertise. They have clients in all different types of vertical markets. So if you're a business owner or CFO, somebody that's in charge of risk management, maybe internal counsel, hey, contact Jonathan Carver and the Highland Insurance Group. Say, hey, I'd like to look at this and let's see if there's something we can do creatively to save us a few dollars here. They're happy to look at it. The odds are they probably can find some way to improve your insurance program. That's just the level of insurance professional you're dealing with, the Highland Insurance Group. So reach out, HighlandIG.com, fill out the contact us form, reach out to Jonathan, say, I heard about you on the Hunt Palmer Show. Let's talk. And Jonathan and his team are happy to do that. It's the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at HighlandIG.com.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is...
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Awesome time to stop on in and grab a po' boy. Gorgeous weather out there. It's warm. Awesome time to grab a po' boy. Some of those crispy shoestring fries. Great lunch. A little late for lunch, but hey, indulge on a Friday over there at Corks. Check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. All right, Saints and Panthers coming up on Sunday, division matchup, and one that you looked at in August as you were kind of scanning through going, okay, that's one you can get. It is on the road, but it's a division game. The Panthers are kind of the punchline of the division, and we know the Saints are not expected to be very good, but if you're looking at games you can win, like that's one of them. You're not going to go to Buffalo and win. You're not going to go to Seattle and win. You know, those are games that you look at and go, oof, that doesn't look great. But you feel like you got a chance to go get the Panthers. And through 4 weeks of the season, it looked about right. Panthers opened in Jacksonville and got thumped 26-10. They went out to Arizona, lost a 5-point game. Then they beat Atlanta 30-0, which was a weird result. But it's the NFL. It's a division game. Weird game. And in week 4, they went to New England and lost 42-13. So they're 1-3, and they look like the Panthers of last year and the Panthers of the year before that and the Panthers of the year before that before they got Bryce Young. And like they just look bad. And in those 4 games where the Panthers looked terrible, Rico Dowdle averaged 7 carries a game and had 1 touchdown. In the opener, 3 carries, 12 yards. Against Arizona, 6 carries, 9 yards. At New England, 9 carries, 32 yards. Like they weren't really featuring him. Chuba Hubbard was the guy. And they decided, after the month of September was over, hey, let's get Dowdle involved here. Well, what happened? Well, they played Miami, and Dowdle had 23 carries for 206. Running for 200 yards in an NFL game is a statement, and he made it. Next week, he backed that up against Dallas, 30 carries for $183. He averaged 6.1 yards a carry on 30 totes. They play the Jets on the road. He gets 17 more touches. They win the game. It was ugly, 13-6, and I wouldn't suggest that the running game won it for him, but they featured him and they won the game. Then, the next week, they're like, well, let's get Chuba Hubbard back involved. We're here against Buffalo. Let's get Hubbard involved. So, Dowdle has 8 carries for 54 yards, and they get beat by 31 points, 40-9. So, last week, they went to Green Bay and said, you know what? Let's go back to the Dowdle guy. It seemed to work okay. Let's do that again. 25 carries, $130, and 2 scores. 206 against Miami, 183 against Dallas, 130 at Green Bay. This is the guy. This is the Panthers offense. Bryce Young is still not good. Yes, the Panthers have won 4 of 5. Bryce Young is among the worst statistical quarterbacks in the NFL. This is the offense. It is a big, physical, road-grading ground attack, and they want to feature Dowdle. I think he gets 20 carries in this game on Sunday. If the Saints play the run like they did in Chicago And like they did last week at home, they will get beat soundly by Carolina, who is big and physical and wants to run it. So if you're Devon Godshaw, if you're Brian Brzee, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Pete Warner, this crew, if you do not show up, getting off the bus, determining you're going to stop this guy, you will get beat soundly in this game by Carolina. If you do put up a fight against this guy, you do limit his ability to make big plays, and you keep him around 85 yards, you will be in this game because Bryce Young is not going out there Sunday and throwing for 305 and 3 scores. He is not. He's not good enough. I don't think the Saints' defensive backs are great. They hadn't played that way, but he's not going to do it. Teteroa McMillan, outside, big question mark right now. Questionable in the injury report on Friday. Huge deal because he's their first-round pick, top 10 pick. He's kind of the future of their passing game. And without him, that takes a big step back. But you got to stop Rico Dowdle. You have to. That's the Saints defense. You flip the ball to the offensive side. Your offensive line is in shambles. Your left guard plays for the Chargers. Your center is on IR. And your right tackle, Taliesin Fuaga, is now ruled out on Friday. So you're going out there with a makeshift group up front, and you don't have your most explosive playmaker on the outside. That's Rashid Shaheed. He's in Seattle. I've been telling you they got to run the ball. They got to run the ball. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball. They haven't. Like, they got a few things going against Tampa, but it hasn't been good. And that doesn't give Shuck a ton of hope. So I'm sitting here trying to analyze this game, and I'm trying to paint your offensive picture, and I'm not going to just blow smoke. I'm not just going to lie. I don't know what you lean on offensively. That's Kellen Moore's job. And Tyler Shuck's got to make it work. I mean, I can give you all the cliches of run the ball, stay in front of the chains, ball control. The wide receivers have got to make some plays, catch the ball, and break some tackles, get Devin Neal involved a little bit. I can give you cliches all day long. Fact of the matter is that until I see something of real promise from Tyler Shuck, I can't, in good faith, predict it. That's a waste of everyone's time. The Saints' pass protection is bad. I think it's easier to run block, and I would like them to start the game attempting to do that. I have no faith they can get that done.
And Fuaga's out, by the way.
Yeah, I mentioned that at right tackle.
Yeah, Fuaga.
So you just don't have a lot of good vibes there. You look at this Saints team, and if I try to paint you an offensive strength, I can't do it. Kamara's okay. Olave's okay. He's okay as an NFL wide receiver. He's substandard as a 1. Juwan Johnson's not making plays. I would suggest Taysom Hill is a nice gadget, but that suggestion to me is irrelevant because every time you put Taysom Hill out there, you're compromising Tyler Shuck's development because he's not playing. And I don't care if they win the game or not against Carolina. I need Shuck to play. So like last week, they send him out there and he gets stuffed and then he throws an incomplete pass and then you trot Shuck out there for 3rd and 10. Well, that's not great for development because now you're putting him out there 3rd and 10 against a rookie left tackle and a makeshift right tackle, and that's not great. So it's hard for me to give a lot of optimism here, and I don't have any left to offer. So to me, I do think Carolina runs the ball at the Saints. I don't think the Saints mount much of anything offensively. They're going to need to hit some big plays and get a turnover or two in this game. I mean, the one game they won this year, they got a bunch of turnovers. Those aren't really a sustainable way to go about winning NFL games. But maybe Bryce Young gets you 1 or 2 if you can stop Dowdle in some way. I don't have the confidence in that in the Saints, so I'll pick you a final here. I think Carolina wins this thing 24-7. That's what I got. I wish I had some confidence, but I just don't. So give me 24-7 Carolina in this one. Jordan?
Yes, sir.
You got anything to add to that? You have any confidence?
I don't really have any confidence. I do like that Tatterow and like I said, I like it, but I like McMillan's not going to play.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, I mean, that's a positive in a sense, but Carolina wants to get downhill. You don't really fear Bryce Young in any type of shape or fashion, but at the same time, you're out there with
I don't
Chuck.
think the Panthers are good,
I don't
but
think they're
they
good
do
either.
something good.
They're better than you at the
right,
moment,
you can
yeah.
point to that and go, they run it good.
Yeah.
I can't point to anything the Saints do well. I can't point to one thing and be like, well, at least they do that.
Well, we're going to have an all-white, so we're going to at least look clean. You know, we're going to look better than them.
icy
you know,
whites.
You know, we got the all-white, so we won the uniform battle. That's, you know, I guess that's
I
points,
can't even point to the field goal kicker and go, you got a good kicker,
no,
you don't have that.
Get groupie. And we're outside, too, so he's going to be shaky. We already know a little groupie. So, I mean, your best bet, like you said, will have to be some miracle turnovers. You're just going to have to cost like a block punt or, you know, Bryce Young fumbles it in any type of shape or fashion. But
Chase Young.
That's my only hope. Yes.
Chase Young strip sack. That's what we got. You're going to have to make him throw the ball to get that. So we'll see. Saints and Panthers, noon on Sunday. Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Missed any of the first hour. First 30 minutes were on LSU. I kind of like the matchup for LSU on Saturday against Alabama. You can listen to that at Hunt on LSU. Our interview with Preston Guy as well. Saints pick now in the rearview mirror. All our Saints content, Hunt on Saints. We will step aside for national headlines with SportsCenter. When we come back, we're rolling a little bit on these SEC picks against the spread. I got more coming after this.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
I'm Ed Bankin, and we'll be another busy weekend in the NFL, and several teams continue to deal with injuries. One of the big games of the weekend will be the Bucs and the Patriots in Tampa. New England will once again be without running back Ramondre Stevenson. He is dealing with a toe injury. New England will also be without receiver Kayshon Boutte. He's dealing with a hamstring problem, and linebacker Christian Ellis. Giants kicker Graham Gano will not be able to kick against the Bears on Sunday due to a neck injury. Former Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo will take Gano's place. The Rams are making a kicking change. They have elevated Harrison Mevis to the practice squad. Meanwhile, the Colts and Falcons are getting ready to face each other in Germany on Sunday, and ESPN Radio's Evan Cohen says Atlanta coach Raheem Morris could lose more than a game if the Falcons fall on Sunday.
The international games are coach killer games. Do I think Raheem Morris should be fired? No. Do I think it's on the table considering how inconsistent this team is? Absolutely.
This will be the first game of the 2025 NFL season in Germany. College football tonight. Number 19 USC will host Northwestern. Hockey news. Sabres captain Rasmus Dahlin is taking an indefinite leave of absence from the team. His fiancée is recovering from a heart transplant in Sweden.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up on Monday. From NFL to college football, I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Remember, our Football Fridays live and local all day long. It starts with our guys OTB from Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee. They're with you 7 to 10. Live at lunch starts early, 10 to 1 o'clock from Ruffino's. I'm here 1 to 3. Matt's here from 3 to 6 on After Further Review. Kay Wassan, 6 o'clock to 6:45. Louisiana Prep Preview. There's a lot of big-time rivalry action tonight around the state of Louisiana. He'll get you ready for it. And generally speaking, Catholic High football on Fridays. And that runs you through about 9 o'clock. So from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. live and local here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge on our Football Fridays. A lot in the rearview mirror today in hour number 1. Still a lot to get to in hour number 2. Got to talk LSU Bama here in our next segment. My final pick for LSU Bama coming up about 50 minutes from right now. Got Take It or Leave It coming as well. But Jordan, right now, a lot of people are talking. I hear the people talking out there.
They're talking.
They're all going, Hunt's 8-4 in his last 2 weeks. He is one of the greatest handicappers we've ever seen.
Streets is listening.
And the folks know that it was a bumpy start, but you got to stick to the process, and you got to trust that you are the greatest handicapper of all time, which many people say that I am.
Yeah.
And that's why we've come out with an 8-4 record the last 2 weeks. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's this light week, 4 games, and there's 5 in the SEC. Well, 6. I don't pick LSU Bama on this. And Ole Miss is playing the Citadel with no line. So It's a light week. But that doesn't mean you take the week off. It doesn't mean you relax. It doesn't mean it's not a look-ahead spot. You get it done, you get the picks in, and you dominate the week. We've dominated week 9, dominated week 10. We got to dominate week 11. Here it comes. It starts at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Battle of Bulldogs. Georgia in Starkville. Davis-Wade Stadium. Mississippi State's catching 9.5. Good for Mississippi State. They got off the schneid. They got the win in Arkansas. Jeff Levy has an SEC victory in his back pocket. Now can they step up in class against Georgia? Beating Arkansas is nice. This is Georgia. Mississippi State is giving up 35 points per game in SEC play. That's not good on defense. On the other side, this is a sandwich spot for Georgia. They beat Florida last week, go to Jacksonville, stadium split 50-50, huge rivalry game, okay. And then next week, you got Texas coming to Athens. So can they get up for little old Starkville? We'll see. I like Blake Shapen to complete a lot of throws. Georgia's 9th in the SEC in pass defense. They're 11th in completion percentage allowed in the Southeastern Conference. This is a tricky spot for Georgia. They're going to win this game. 9.5. State's going to play hard. I'll take 9.5. Could be a backdoor cover. That's a lot of points there. Give me Mississippi State in the 9.5 against Georgia. As I mentioned, noon, SEC Network Plus. The Citadel is at Ole Miss. That does not have a number attached to it. I don't care how many Ole Miss wins by. Whatever. Next, 2:30, ABC. Maybe the game of the day outside of LSU Bama. Maybe the game of the day with LSU Bama. A&M is at Missouri. Missouri is at home. They're catching 6.5 points. They'll start a freshman quarterback here. Ooh. You've got an injury here to Bo Prabula, so we'll go with the freshman. That's not a good matchup against this pass rush in Texas A&M. Now, Missouri's defense is good. They held Bama to 27 points. They held Auburn to 17 points. They held Vanderbilt to 17 points. Look, A&M is 10th in the SEC in yards per carry allowed. I saw LSU run on Texas A&M. You can run the ball, and Ahmad Hardy is legit. 6.5. With a good defense, running game, I'll take the points. Okay. Give me Missouri and the points at home, 6.5. I think A&M wins it by 3. A&M wins it by 4. Maybe they win it by 6. I'll take 6.5 with Missouri. 3 o'clock SEC Network. Auburn is at Vanderbilt. That is also a 6.5-point number. Home team favorite this time. That is Vanderbilt. Auburn's offense is worse than bad. They're 104th in the country in scoring. If you just limit it to conference games, they're 128th in the country in scoring. They're 120th in passing. They've made a quarterback change. It didn't help last week. They got beat by Kentucky. All Vanderbilt has to do to set up a monster in-state showdown is beat Auburn and Kentucky in Nashville. That's it. If they do that, they go to Knoxville with a chance to finish 10-2 and probably make the playoffs. Easier said than done, but that's the path. I like Vanderbilt to win this game by a touchdown, 10 points, 14 points. I just think Auburn's awful, and they may have quit. Give me Vanderbilt minus the 6.5 in Music City. 6:30, SEC Network. Florida is at Kentucky. Kentucky's at home. They're catching 3.5. Give me these numbers. Look at this. This is incredible. Scoring offense, SEC ranks. Scoring offense. Florida's 15th out of 16. Kentucky's 13th out of 16. Total offense. Do you move the ball? Florida, 13th out of 16. Kentucky, 14th out of 16. Rushing offense, can you run it? Florida, 13th out of 16. Kentucky, 10th out of 16. Passing offense, that's the last piece of this puzzle. Florida, 13th. Kentucky, 14th. They are double digits in a 16-team league across the board. These are two of the worst offenses in the Southeastern Conference. They will duel in the big grocery store up in Lexington. Basketball season has started. I think Kentucky's going to be pretty good. The Big Blue Nation does not give a rip about this game. They want Mark Stoops fired. But Florida is still not good enough for me to lay 3.5 points on the road. Okay? Give me Kentucky. I'll take 3.5 points on the road. This game's going to be what? 13-10?
Ugly.
Give me the points. No, give me the points. This is an awful game. I'll be candid. I'm not watching any of this, and I'll be in a sports book. I'm not even going to tell them to put it on because that's just an awful football game. But I will take Kentucky plus the 3. This is a different week for me. I'm a guy that takes favorites. That's why I'm a very poor handicapper, a very poor player in this game. Yeah. I'm taking points by the truckload this week. Give me Mississippi State plus 9.5. Give me Missouri plus 6.5. Give me Kentucky plus 3.5. I will lay the number with Vanderbilt minus 6.5 against Auburn. That is my Week 11 slate.
I like it a lot. I really do. I really do like the Mississippi State. I did not know that Mississippi State is 8-1 against the spread this season. So
yeah, they're playing hard. Yeah. They're trying.
I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, but I think they can muck it up and make it ugly enough to where
it's
in
the
game.
Beauty of expectation in college football, where LSU or USC or Florida freaks out when they lose 3 games.
Yes.
Mississippi State, we got 3 losses.
Yeah.
What? When's the next game? Let's go. Let's play because they don't have any expectations in Starkville. So yeah, they play hard. This is a sandwich spot. Did Jimmy or Charlie take any SEC games today? Do you remember?
Handy took that same game. That's kind of why I had to do some research on it. Yeah, he likes So once you said it, and he said it earlier, and you said, I was like, damn, I kind of like it too. Then, especially because Haney's been hot recently. Haney's been real hot.
I've been hotter.
You've been hotter, but
8-4, baby, the last 2 weeks.
But we talking Las Vegas handicappers every day. So these guys are just they got picks galore.
They need to be listening to me. 8-4 the last 2 weeks. 8-4 the last 2 weeks. 8 wins, 4 losses the last 2 weeks.
And I know this sounds crazy. I'm looking at the Auburn Vanderbilt game. I'm looking at it, and I know Auburn is down and out. They're terrible.
Awful.
They're terrible. But the fact that you said that Vanderbilt has to win these 2 easy games to set up this matchup against Tennessee.
Yes.
Something could go. You know how college football is, man. Like, just because it's so, all right, you got to do this, this, and this, something's bound to happen. It might not be this game, but you said they got Kentucky after this?
Yes.
One of those is shaky.
Nope.
Because one of those is shaky. I don't know.
Everybody that listens to this show knows how big a supporter of Vanderbilt I am. I believed in them from the beginning. I'm a huge Clark Lee guy. I believed in them from the beginning. I always thought they were good. Never put them at the bottom of the power rankings. Always talked about how quality of their program was.
Yeah.
And so I have no reason to doubt them.
Big Pavia guy.
Jordan, you're new. I have disgraced Vanderbilt for 3 years on this show. So.
Oh, no. Once you said you wanted to be LSU's permanent opponent, I already knew what type of time you was on.
I did. I still do. I would love that.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'll take my chances.
I like that. We'll take our chances.
All right, those are my SEC picks against the number here on this Friday. Hope y'all are having a good one. Should be a good weather weekend here in South Louisiana. A reminder for those who are unaware or interested in maybe checking this out over the weekend. LSU tonight, 5 o'clock. Alec Box Stadium. They will be scrimmaging over there, inter-squad, so you can go check that out. It's free. Bring in Coca-Cola, bring in Yingling Flight, bring in whatever you want, margarita, watch a little bit of baseball. They'll be playing at 5 o'clock today. And then they got another scrimmage tomorrow in Alec Box Stadium. I believe it's 1 o'clock. Maybe make sure I'm not leading you astray here. Have it. It is right. Well, it's on LouisianaSports.net. I can tell you that. Here it is. Schedule set for November 7th through 9th. 5 o'clock tonight. Then on Saturday at noon. Saturday at noon. So if you're looking to kill your day, it's before LSU Bama. Saturday at noon. And then Southeastern, 1 o'clock in Hammond. I do not know if that's free or not. I kind of doubt it, but I don't know. So don't be stunned if you do go to Hammond and you got to pay something to get in. I have not gone to one of these scrimmages away from Alec Box Stadium, so I'm not sure. I'm going to try to get to the one on Sunday. We'll see. It might be free. I just don't know. I do know that today is free at 5. Tomorrow is free at noon. So you can check those out at the box before they go to Hammond on Sunday. I'll be there tonight at 5 o'clock watching a little bit of baseball. All right, we'll come back, talk some more LSU Bama next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
You know what else you can do this weekend? If you don't want to go watch baseball at the box, it doesn't count. Go play some golf indoors. Swing Easy Golf Club, Baton Rouge. Right here on Segan at Perkins. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. You go in, you got a private bay, comfortable seating, couches, you got a TV you can control, golf simulators right there in front of you. It's really accurate. It's a lot of fun. You can play at Famous Golf Course. They play a tournament at in April that would prefer I not mention their names. I think you're aware of that. You can also play Pebble Beach or Cypress Point or Bethpage Black or TPC Sawgrass. Test yourself against the Island Green. Bring your clubs, hit some shots, have some fun. It's a great way to play a round of golf in an hour and 10 minutes. I know that a round of golf only takes 4.5 hours. Not at Swing Easy Golf Club. Come with your friends, drink some cold beers. They got them there, seltzers, wine, all right there. Watch some football, hit some golf shots. It's a great place to hang out and socialize indoors. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Check them out online at swingeasygcbr.com. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Sometimes you ignore the signs. even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
You're listening to The Hun Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Chugging right along here on a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp brings you our Friday shows. Happy to feed you in bulk. You got a crew coming over to watch LSU and Bama tomorrow night. Don't want to cook all day to get ready for that? Corks can help. Big old trays of that jumbo Gulf shrimp. Big old trays of that crispy fried catfish. Shoestring fries. All the sauces your heart can desire. They've got your classic cocktail, classic tartar. They've also got their cork sauce, which is fantastic. Get on by. See them, Government Foster and between Foster and Jefferson. It's corksfishandshrimp.com online. LSU Bama Saturday night still feels weird. I still feel weird about it. This was just such appointment television, such a monstrous build-up for 2 weeks for so long. It just hasn't been this year, and we've talked about it all week, so I'm not going to belabor the point, but it's still, as I get into another segment where I'm going to talk about it, I'm still kind of shaking myself going, this is just so weird. But I told you in the first segment of the show today that it's not hard for me to come up with a path for LSU to really stay in this game. It's not. It involves them doing some things they haven't done well this year, but I do believe that LSU can run the ball better than they have. I believe they can. I've learned a little bit from Hester and Flynn with some of the film things they've done in the morning where some of the things that LSU's done on offense just haven't allowed their offensive linemen a chance to give LSU a hope on the ground. They're in those RPOs where the tackles are backing up and then being asked to try to run block because there might be a pass. So it's just not conducive to getting behind your pads and going. And I think LSU's going to try to do that on Saturday. And I saw them do it for a half against A&M. And now you look at Bama and you look at the fact that Missouri ran on them. And you looked at Vanderbilt ran on them. And you looked at Florida State ran on them. And you looked at Tennessee actually ran it on them. And Georgia ran it a lot on them. And LSU's not as good as those teams running it. But I also told you in the first segment, I told you Friday before the Ole Miss game, LSU's not going to run the ball. They're not. I know Ole Miss has the worst run defense in the SEC. They're not going to run the ball because they can't. I think they can run it a little bit in this game. But with all that being said, you still got to have better from 18. You got to have better from 18. This is something I mentioned pre-A&M, and there's a modicum of cliche in this analysis that, of course, your quarterback's got to play pretty well. But I need some of last year's Nussmeier, some of the big plays, some of the clutch throws. I think about the fourth quarter against Ole Miss and his ability to escape some pressure and hit Mason Taylor, to obviously the huge throw on the fourth down to Aaron Anderson, trusting Kyron Lacey one-on-one and he makes a play down there. But the LSU converted fourth downs late in that game, and he was just on the money throwing the ball. I think about the good plays he made against South Carolina. They fell behind 17-0 in that game, and he made some throws. He made some throws in that game to get him back in it. Now, you can't have the red zone interception that got called back once he got blocked in the back or what unnecessary roughness or whatever it was. You can't have that play, but like the good stuff. I think about the first half in College Station against Texas A&M. Man, he looked good in that half. You got hitting Kyron Lacey on the outside, working the ball to Aaron Anderson down the right sideline. The slant that Anderson took the distance up the middle. The fade route he hit Mason Taylor on that was just gorgeous over the top of the A&M defense. You've got to make some of those throws. And I do truly think that LSU is going to lean heavily on the run on Saturday. I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Nobody runs it fewer times than LSU in the Southeastern Conference. They're literally in the 130s in rushing attempts. I think that flips on Saturday. But you are going to have to get good play from Garrett Nussmeier. And involved in that is your two tackles giving you something. And they just haven't for 2 months. At right tackle, you've had breakdown after breakdown. You've had two different guys at left tackle, and you saw in the Texas A&M game, putting a true freshman over there on Cassius Howell is a tough assignment. This is not a Bama defensive front that's got Will Anderson or Tim Williams or Marcel Darius. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Jonathan Allen and, you know the Bama guys that were just terrors. Ashawn Robinson. This is not that. But your tackles are just not at SEC level. So you've got to throw the ball in advantage positions. 1st and 10. 2nd and 2. 2nd and 5. 3rd and 1. Where you can't allow those guys to pin their ears and come at you. You give up 7 sacks against A&M. And your quarterback is aware of that. As much as you can preach mental toughness and you can say you've got to stand in there, when you drop and try to make plays down the field and you don't have the confidence that your guys can hold up, it makes it tough. And last year, despite LSU's putrid running ability, just awful running the ball, last year, Garrett Nussmeier had the confidence when he took the snap, 3rd and 11, 1st and 10, 2nd and 11, like whatever. They're going to block. I've got time. Let me look. And this year, I don't see that from him. I see shoulders shrugging and ducking down. I see a guy that's just not as confident. And for good reason. They're not as good. And if you keep trying to throw the ball and you get in bad down distances, it will be terrible. Because that stadium, despite what everyone wants to say, that, it's a wine and cheese crowd, it's an entitled crowd, it's not as loud as Tiger Stadium, it's not as loud as Neyland, it's not as loud as Jordan-Hare. It's loud. I've been in there. It's loud. And that fan base feels comfortable and confident with that coach right now. It can change. It can change tomorrow. But right now, they do. It'll be loud in there. It'll be difficult to get things done on 3rd and distance. So it's got to be, you've got to stay ahead of the change, but Nussmeier's got to play good. No turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. LSU's margin in this game are too tight. Yesterday, I did a whole segment on how to win in the margins. One of the big things was red zone. But one of the things I said that was so obvious was that turnovers. LSU is not good enough to lose the turnover battle 3-1 or 2-0 or even 1-0 tomorrow and have a real good chance to win the game. They're not good enough. You're going to have to play a clean game. And you can. Every single season, there is a game that you play your best. Maybe LSU's was Clemson. Maybe it was. That's the best they're going to get. But I still hold out hope that there's something in that offense with the quarterback who last season threw for more yards than anyone in the history of the program outside of Joe Burrow. There's something in there. There's now a healthy Aaron Anderson. There's a matchup problem in Trey'Dez Green. There's the speed of Barryon Brown, and maybe Chris Hilton gets involved. There's something in there to hit a play. It starts on the ground for LSU tomorrow. I do believe that. I think you've got a head coach and now a play caller that truly believe that. You've got a altered practice periods with 9-on-7 this week of running the ball. They're going to do that. But you're going to have to make some plays. And it may have to come in the red zone, and it may have to come in big plays. But you've got to have your quarterback have his best game. And I did a segment 2 weeks ago talking about how disappointed Garrett Nussmeier probably is in his final season here to this point. He had a nice first year productivity-wise, and you come back to chase a title, to chase history at a place where you can make it, to do something that Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels did and, contend for a Heisman Trophy or contend for a championship. And that's all gone. He's not playing in Atlanta for the SC championship. He's not going to the college football playoff. He's not winning the Heisman Trophy. He could move into second all-time in yards passing and will if he stays healthy. But this may be the game that you look back on and go, oh, that was when Nussmeier made those huge plays and they went to Tuscaloosa and won. Maybe a game you talk about like that. There are plenty of guys that have got games that you talk about that didn't win championships. Josh Reed didn't win any championships. I mean, he won the SEC, I guess. But you talk about his day against Alabama. Like Leonard Fournette didn't win anything of substance, but you talk about that day against Auburn, that day against Ole Miss. Maybe this is a day where Garrett Nussmeier hits some big plays, doesn't turn it over, makes some huge throws, makes one play late in the game to win it. Because that's the point. If they can run the ball and they can win time of possession, like I talked about in the first segment, maybe it comes down to one play. And maybe it's like that play he made to Aaron Anderson on 4th down against Ole Miss. And maybe we talk about that with Garrett Nussmeier. Maybe he makes a throw in overtime, like Jaden did in the 2-point conversion, like Jamarcus did in Tuscaloosa in 2005. Maybe. That's what you've got to cling to. 18's got to be really good on Saturday. And I think there's a reasonable chance that Michael Van Buren gets some snaps. I think there's a reasonable chance Juwan Johnson's involved in some direct snaps. I think they're going to do some creative things to try to run the ball. But that doesn't mean Garrett Nussmeier is going to play 60% of the game. I think he's going to play 95% of the game. He's got to make some plays. You can't go to Tuscaloosa and win without your quarterback figuring it out. And I'm not telling you he's got to be like the last two guys who have won for LSU against Alabama. They both won Heismans. He doesn't have to be that. He's got to get some help from the ground game and make some crucial plays late. And that's you got to have it from Garrett Nussmeier if you're going to win this game on Saturday night in Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'll give you my pick for LSU and Alabama coming up at the end of the show. I've already given you my Saints and Panthers selection. If you're looking to find that, you can find it Hunt on Saints on YouTube, wherever you find your podcast. We're probably done with Saints and Panthers for the most part for the rest of the show, but we did at the end of the hour. If you want to go ahead and check that out, you certainly can. We got 2 more orders of business to go on this Football Friday. We will, of course, pick the game, as I mentioned. When we come back, we'll take it or leave it. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Holidays are coming up. Of course, it's always a great time to surprise somebody you love with a vehicle. If you want to do that, you certainly can. That's not in the cards this year, but you are going on a road trip, so you think, well, might as well leave those miles off of my current vehicle. I'll do a rental. Genesis of Baton Rouge is happy to do that for you. 2 things. You take those miles off your vehicle. You also get behind the wheel of a Genesis maybe for the first time and understand the comfort, the style, all the features, and they'll tell you about the safety. Every single model on the line is an IHS top safety pick, meaning one of the safest cars on the road, no matter which one you are in. I like the GV80. It's a midsize SUV. Get behind the wheel with your family. Thanksgiving road trip, Christmas road trip. and tell them I sent you. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge. They're on airline at Pico. You can also find them online, genesisofbatonrouge.com. Genesisofbatonrouge.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers along with traffic.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Failure happens to us all, but it's how champions evolve.
Got a text, for those that are just hopping in the car, I got a text that the LSU Southeastern scrimmage on Sunday is sold out, we are told. So if you heard me talk about that 20 minutes ago and said, oh, that's great, let's go, maybe not the best idea. So I think it is. They did sell tickets, and I think they are sold out. But you can watch LSU at 5 o'clock today, and you can watch them at noon tomorrow if you head over to Alec Box Stadium. I'll be there with the Myers Man at 5 o'clock, watching a little baseball this evening. Just a palate cleanser for me. It's been a rough 2 weeks here in Baton Rouge. Very tumultuous, a lot of turnover, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff I don't like talking about, candidly. And then we'll see what tomorrow brings. It could be awesome. It could be not good. But today, this afternoon, going to watch a little baseball at the box, good weather, Myers Man in tow. That's going to be enjoyable. I'm going to enjoy my Friday evening out there at the box, so I'm looking forward to that. My LSU and Bama pick coming up at the end of the show. Let's play Take It or Leave It.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Brian Haldane across the hall told me that the FAA is canceling a bunch of flights. You know what they can't cancel? Flight by Yingling right here. So if you're looking to make sure you got a flight that can't be canceled, Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer. Just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Looking to pick something up on the ride home. Just pick up a Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer.
All right, let's kick this bad boy off with everybody's favorite linebacker, Whit Weeks. As Whit Weeks played his last down in the LSU uniform, take it or leave it.
I'll leave that. I realize the injury is more serious than we thought. Like, he gave it a go against South Carolina, and it didn't work out. But I think he comes back to give it a go. You still got a game against Arkansas coming up at home. You've still got Senior Day, which I think will be his last time to get an opportunity to play alongside his brother in Tiger Stadium against Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then you've got a trip to Oklahoma. Keep in mind, like, from right now, you've got a week before Arkansas, a week before Western Kentucky, and then a week. You've got 3 weeks, and he's listed as questionable, and he's running around on the practice field. So I'm not 100% convicted. I'm not a doctor, and I don't have a diagnosis on Whit Weeks, but knowing his personality the way I do, knowing how important this year was to his family, with Zach on the team, with West on the team, he's going to give it a shot to come back at some point.
All right. Mansour Delane's biggest test this season versus Bama. Take it or leave it.
I'll leave it. I think Craver and Concepcion are as every bit what you're going to see from Bernard and Williams on Saturday. Simpson's probably a better passer than Marcel Reed, but not like a ton better. He's better. I mean, Reed threw 3 interceptions in the game against LSU, or two. But I think it's close. But I think because it's close, I'll just default to maybe not.
Okay. All right. LSU O-line will give up no more than 2 sacks on Saturday. Take it or leave it.
I got to leave it. I mean, I think they're so leaky on the edge as a tackle. And this is like all August we sat here and we said, I think they're pretty good on defense. I think they're pretty talented at running back. I think they're pretty talented at wide receiver. Quarterback's proven commodity. Like, the offensive line's just decent, maybe. And the offensive line just has not been decent in pass protection. And it's compromised you. So is the injury to Nussmeier. So is the inability to
run the ball,
call the running plays. Like, there are a lot of reasons why they haven't been great on offense. But one of them is that they don't pass block very well. And that's a huge change from last year, and it's been a huge deal.
The 2019 LSU versus Bama game was more memorable than the 2011 LSU versus Bama game. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave it.
Leave it alone.
They're phenomenal, and it's not a big chasm. This is probably my personal opinion. I was at the 11 game. I was not at the 19 game. I was listening to Locked On Bama today as I was running this morning, and they were talking about the pregame atmosphere for 2011. For those that weren't there, like, I'm just telling you, I've never been in a pregame atmosphere like that. I mean, LeBron was there.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, like, Vince Vaughn was there. Snoop Dogg was there. Like, Russillo and Van Pelt were there. Like, it was, I mean, not that Russillo and Van Pelt are LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron
like,
and Snoop Dogg.
But it's like, I was walking the sideline pregame, and I knew every single person that was there.
Yeah.
And then the stadium was full an hour before kickoff, was just never the case anywhere. And I was home for the 19 game. The 19 game was back and forth, and there were more points scored, and you had all those first-round pick wide receivers. You had 5 first-round pick wide receivers there.
Yeah.
But the memories I have of 11 are more vivid. Overtime, the drama, the field goal ended on a walk-off.
Yeah.
Like, to me, 11 was the game. But 19 was... I don't mean to disparage 19 in that way. If you weren't at 11 and you were at 19, your answer is probably different. I was running around my living room alone like a crazy person in 2019. I vividly remember... Like, this is, it's almost embarrassing, but here we go. I don't have any pride. Who cares? I was at my house by myself.
Yeah.
And the LSU gets the ball and goes right down the field and hits Chase for that touchdown down the right sideline, like right on Terrell's head. And I'm running around my coffee table going, we got a quarterback now! Because LSU had gone to Tuscaloosa with no ability to throw the ball 20 years in a row. And finally we could, and Joe never stopped throwing it after that. By the way, one of my trivia questions this weekend, this past week at Court to Table, was combined passing yards by Burrow and Tua. You'd have to get it exactly correct. It was closest team won. You want to throw a guess how many passing yards combined they had that day?
600?
811.
800?
811. Tua was over 400 yards.
I mean, yeah, he did have to throw the ball a lot towards the end.
Well, he threw it.
Yeah.
He had 2 deep balls to
Smitty.
Devontae.
Yeah, Smitty.
But
wow,
yeah, for
800?
me, give me 11. It was just nuts.
Okay, splitting tens and blackjack. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave that.
Leave it alone.
There's probably some blackjack in my future this weekend. We were talking about that. I'll be at the casino all day on Saturday, so I'll probably play a little bit. I play the table minimum for like no money, but I like the woman next to me. We do it 2 times a year. The woman next to me, after the Ole Miss game I was playing, she was playing like 500 hand, and it was something to watch. Like, she was winning a lot and losing a lot, and I don't know I couldn't even tell you if she ended up winning money or losing money.
Yeah.
But there was so much of it changing hands so quickly because like. She was betting this little. I'm getting into a whole blackjack thing, but I love to play blackjack. I do it like 2-3 times a year, maybe, and I don't do it for very much money at all. But I pretty much play exactly by the book. I don't take a lot of chances. Maybe if you're way up and the dealer's got a 5 showing, you want to go out there and split tens. I'm taking my 20 to the house, so I'm not going to split that. But I like to watch people do it.
Yeah,
and so I'll take my tens.
All right, Rico Dowell over 120 yards on Sunday. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
Ooh.
I'll take it. I don't think it's like 150, but like 128, 132.
That's a good game for him, so yeah.
That's a big – and look, the Saints, like – how often are the Saints going to possess the ball in this game? Like,
got to be more than 16 minutes. You got to do something. I mean, 16 minutes is abysmal.
We learned that.
I mean – 16 minutes is actually abysmal. Like, that's one of the, even though Nick Arnero said that was like the 13th lowest in NFL history, that had to be the lowest I've ever seen with my own eyes. So I've never even, I didn't even know that was possible. So no, you got to give Shuck some type of help, man. I know we don't have much of a run game. Kendre, RIP Kendre, but like, you know, Neil, AK, you got to find a way to just possess the ball, man. Help this guy out. Okay, last but not least. The game day kickers are too good now. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to take it.
Yes, they are too good.
We're like drafting high school kickers to kick 30. I want to see bums kicking. I want to see the worst. I want me out there shanking it 10 yards. Like, that's funny. You give me, I know a high school kicker can make a 30-yarder off the tee uncontested.
Or like, this little soccer kid do one of those.
I want to watch the general population go out there and try to kick field goals. This is the spirit. I don't even care that much about McAfee giving the money away, or ESPN or the insurance company or whoever's giving the money away. I just want to see bad people try to kick field goals.
Yes.
That was the spirit of the competition, and we were getting away from that.
Look, I'm gonna be real. What I hate the most, though, and it might sound kind of me. I hate when they give him a second chance. I hate the second chance. You only get one shot. No, what these like? Oh, let's give one more. Then
Here's an idea. Let's give Groupie 2 chances on all his field goals. How about that? You think if we give him a 50-50 shot, he can make one?
Man, the last kid that made it, he looked way better than Groupie. He had power behind that. Groupie
that kid kicked it. It would have been good from 50.
Exactly.
I don't want to see that.
And Groupie can't even make it from 50. So we got a problem. We need to go get him.
I loved your comment. Was it yesterday's show or today's show where you're like, well, he's outside, so he's going to struggle.
Yeah, he's going to struggle, man. I've seen him struggle in the dome. It's outside's worse. He's worse.
I want to see the general population. That's another great idea that Twitter gave. Like, this is like 8-10 years ago for the Olympics. Like, put an average citizen in all these events.
Oh,
I want to see an average citizen swim the 100-meter freestyle against these swimmers and just see how good they are.
Yeah.
Because you can't really – I want to see
the average Joe, and they're all the way over there at this part of the pool, and everybody else is just Olympians.
I want to watch a 28-year-old accountant go out there and run the 100 against Bolt.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. We like Rich Eisen running the Combine 40 in the suit. Give me – the construction worker out there trying to swim the 100 free. That's what I want. And I want the game day kickers to be bad.
Yes.
I want entertainment on this.
No, you're actually, that's $1 million idea. We need to go and patent that or something. We got to get that into works. That's $1 million idea.
Nobody ever listens to me, Jordan.
Hey, I like that
idea. On the air,
idea.
in my home, no one listens.
Okay. Well, that's it for Take It or Leave It.
All right. Presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. One more time, get you set up for tomorrow for our broadcast schedule on our Guaranteed family of networks. 1:45 is when we'll start Eagle 98.1 pregame show from Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee. Game day will be Hanny and Musso. They'll run for 3 hours from 1:45 to 4:45. That's when I'll take over on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Myself and Marlon Favorite will go about 90 minutes. And then we'll hand it to the broadcast team in T-Town. 30 minutes after it goes final, me and Marlon on the Fighting Tiger postgame report. And then 90 minutes after the game goes final. Charles Handigraph, Richard Dixon, Eagle 98.1 Game Day's post-game show right here inside the Raising Cane studio, taking your phone calls for 2 hours. So 1:45 start time for Eagle 98.1 Game Day. We'll go till about 2 in the morning as well. All on Eagle 98.1, our flagship station for LSU Athletics. And then the Game Day will be simulcast here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. All right, we got one more order of business. I'm picking LSU Bama next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Tub to shower conversion. It can be simple. Doesn't have to be a huge renovation, huge project, very invasive, time-consuming, expensive. Those are all the things you think about when you think about a renovation. It can be simple. If you've got one of those 90s-style big jacuzzis that you don't use with all the jets involved, they don't even work anymore, get rid of it. That's a lot of space. You can better use it potentially as a gorgeous walk-in shower. If you've already got a shower and you're going, what do I do with that? David and his team turn those into linen closets all the time. They are perfectly capable of turning a shower into a closet. They've got a master plumber on staff. They can handle every piece of this. So the only phone call you make is to David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. If you've got a bathroom that needs a little bit of help, little bit of life breathed into it, David Duvall and his team can customize it for you all the way through the vanity, if that's what you're looking for as well. It's One Bath and Closets. Get that free consultation. It doesn't cost you anything. Get that free consultation at onebathandclosets.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Football Friday shows, all Friday shows, right here on the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Seafood recipe born right here in the heart of seafood country, seafood capital of the world, South Louisiana. Got that jumbo Gulf shrimp, crispy, clean, fried catfish. You can get a platter. You can get catering, tailgates next weekend if you're having a tailgate for LSU and Arkansas and want to have some fish. Maybe it's a post-game tailgate for an early kickoff. You can do that over at Cork's. They'll serve you those big trays. I'm also able to come to the office, feed you at the office for lunch and learn or a birthday party of sorts. Check out the menu. It's all there at corksfishandshrimp.com. They are on government between Foster and Jefferson. corksfishandshrimp.com. Gave you a Saints pick a little bit earlier in the show. Picked Carolina to kind of take it to the Saints there. I think 24-7 was my final pick there. Just don't have a lot of confidence in New Orleans on Sunday. Now let's pick LSU Bama. We've spent a lot, well, really the entire second half of the week talking about it. And my sense from Frank Wilson and the players is that significant changes are coming to LSU's offense. Brian Kelly is gone. Joe Sloan is gone. You've got Alex Atkins being elevated to the play caller. You've got the running back coach now at head coach. We know that they did some significant things early this week to encourage physicality. And that's coming on Saturday. LSU, Frank Wilson said it this week. We are going up there to pick a fight with our helmets and shoulder pads. This is not a secret. This is not something that is going to be surprising. LSU is going to run the ball a lot on Saturday. They may get stuffed almost every time because this program for 3 years has stunk at running the ball. But they're going to try. They're going to get some lead blockers in there. They're going to run power. They're going to stop with the incessant RPOs that compromise the offensive line's ability to fire off the ball. They're going to get Harlan Berry involved. He's averaging 7 yards a carry in the first half against A&M. He only gets it one time in the second half on the first play. Like, that stuff is going to stop. I can sit here and guarantee you they're going to run it. I cannot guarantee you their effectiveness in running it. But I liked what I saw from LSU in that first half against Texas A&M on the ground. And I look at Alabama, and I look at a defense that has not stood up to the run physically this year. This is an Alabama team that excels in the finesse portions of the game. They're very good against the pass. They're very good throwing it. They don't stop the run very well. LSU's going to push that. If you listen to Joe Gaither on our show yesterday, he covers Alabama. He said if LSU turns around and hands it off a lot, like they could have some success. I don't know how much success they're going to have, but they're going to try to run it. And my hope is that they have some success and that they can bleed the clock. Because as I flip to the other side, I think the matchup's okay for LSU there. I think they can run with those wide receivers, but Simpson's very good, and he's going to make his plays. He's not going to hurt LSU in the way that Pavia did, in the way that Reed did with extending plays and running the ball. Reed ran for 100 yards. Ty Simpson's not running for 100 in the game on Saturday night. But he's going to get his through the air. And they're really good on third down with that. But LSU matches up okay. This matchup, as I talked about to start the show, is okay for LSU. It's a matter of execution. It's a matter of can you do it. And if they can get some runs going early in the game, get some runs going early in the sticks, I think they can make some plays. The problem is Bama is one of the best red zone offenses in college football. They're 8th nationally. LSU is terrible in red zone touchdown percentage. And the defense for LSU has been awful for 2 games. Basically, 8 of 9 red zone possessions have resulted in touchdowns. The exception, it's actually 7 of 9. One of those 2, one's a red zone pick. One of them, Pavia slid at the 1-yard line, would have walked in the end zone. So basically 8 of 9. You've got to stiffen in the red zone. LSU can only win this game in the margins, unless there's some ridiculous turnover situation. And red zone is in the margins. Third downs are in the margins. That's LSU's chance in this game. I like the matchup. I like the spot for LSU. I do. And I think LSU's talented enough to go over there and give Alabama a game. Heck, Alabama was in a game with Missouri. They were in a game with South Carolina. They were in a game with Vanderbilt. Pick 6 spun the game against Tennessee, but they were certainly in a game with Florida State. They got smoked. I think the spot's okay for LSU, but I'm just not ready to trust them. I may not the rest of the year. I don't trust this defense to make the plays they have to make in the red zone. And I don't know that I trust the offense to do the things it needs to do on the ground and then when they get close to the goal line, where Bama's been good. So I'm going to take Bama 30-20. If you had told me a month and a half ago that I was going to tell you that Bama was going to score 30 points on this defense, I don't know that I would have believed it. But I'm scarred by A&M. I'm scarred by Vanderbilt controlling the tempo of that game. Whit Weeks is not playing. I just can't get there with this LSU team right now. So I will take Alabama 30, LSU 20 in Tuscaloosa. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a 7 or 3 point game in the fourth quarter. In fact, I think it will be. But Bama gets that last score, pulls away, and LSU loses by a couple scores in T-Town. Anyway, we'll be reacting to it on Monday's show. We just cut a promo for Monday's show. We're going to be reacting to Bama and LSU. We're going to be reacting to Saints Panthers. And if that's too depressing, got a basketball game to preview on Monday night and baseball scrimmages to talk about. So we'll do it one way or another on Monday. That's it for us. You missed any of the show, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Just search Hunt Palmer Show. LSU stuff, Hunt on LSU. Saints stuff, Hunt on Saints. All your content for free, LSU and Saints, LouisianaSports.net. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. Hope everybody has a wonderful and safe weekend. I'm going to go to the box and watch some baseball. See you on Monday.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge